Your ego, what you mean by I in the ordinary way, is your conception of yourself. It is, as it were, the symbol for your actual living organism. And the one is not the other. And they belong to quite different orders of reality. The organism, as what I will for the moment call a physical reality, is of course a process. It is an energy system. It can do something. But the ego is a symbol and is not an energy system and cannot do anything. The ego, the concept of I, which is given a name, John Doe, Alan Watts, Mary Smith, or whatever it happens to be, is a concept. It's a method of tagging people. But it isn't real.
There is no ego apart from the thoughts. The thoughts, identification with thoughts, is ego. But the thoughts that go through your mind, of course, are linked to the collective mind of the culture you live in, humanity as a whole. So they are not your thoughts as such, but you pick them up from the collective, most of them. And so you identify with thinking, and the identification with thinking becomes ego, which means simply that you believe in every thought that arises, and you derive your sense of who you are from what your mind is telling you of who you are.
Well, you see, when you're a little child, all your society around you, your parents, your teachers, your peers, are telling you who you are. It's very important to tag people. We get disconcerted by a person who doesn't have a tag. If I can't make out whether you're a Republican or a Democrat, why, you must be a communist. I feel safe with you if I know you're a Republican or a Democrat. Then I know what you're going to think about almost anything. You know, you can always tell. Somebody says, oh, well, I'm a bircher, or I'm a communist, or whatever he says. You can predict what he will think about almost any subject. That means he's stupid. Because anybody whose thinking is completely predictable is unintelligent. Because unadaptable to surprising situations. He won't know what to do about that. It doesn't say in the book what I'm supposed to think about that. Party line doesn't tell me. But we like to have people safely labeled in that way. And so it isn't only matters of political difference, but also religious, and also character types. We've read novels for so long that we believe characters should be consistent. There always are in novels, except in the new anti-novels. So that people aren't consistent at all. But they're supposed to be, and they make you feel guilty if they're not. So what you learn to do in your education is to act a social role that is acceptable.
Every thought is an energy form, and as such we could call it an entity. And there are many people in this world who are stuck with hostile, life-denying, continuously critical and attacking entities that they carry in their head, and they believe that is who they are. And they are continuously attacking themselves. And if they are not attacking themselves, they attack others around them. Let me tell you who you are. Of course, what they're really saying is, let me tell you who I am. You are the ego, which is not an entity apart from thought. It is thoughts that you have identified with. And the first moment of freedom comes when you realize that certain thoughts have been going through your head for years, perhaps. And that they are only thoughts. And that you are not the thought. You're the awareness. Why believe the lies that your mind produces? Many people live with a very hostile mind.
So my image of me is not at all your image of me. And my image of me is extremely incomplete in that it does not include any information to speak of about the functioning of my nervous system, my circulation, my metabolism, my subtle relationships with the entire surrounding human and non-human universe. So the image I have of myself is a caricature. It is arrived at through mainly my interaction with other people who tell me who I am in various ways, either directly or indirectly, and I play about with what their picture is of me, and they play something back to me so that we set up this conception. And this started very, very early in life. And I was told, you see, and you were told, that we must have a consistent image. You must be you. You have to find your identity in terms of image. This is an awful red herring. A lot of the current quest for identity among younger people is a search for an acceptable image. What role can I play? Who am I in the sense of what am I going to do in life, and so on. Now, while that has a certain importance, if it's not backed up by deeper matters, it's extraordinarily misleading.